So, we must talk about these devastating wildfires which have been raging in Los Angeles over the last 24 hours or so. Over 1,400 firefighters have been battling multiple separate blazes which have burnt nearly 16,000 acres. Overnight, we heard that 5 people have lost their lives to the fire. More than 1,000 buildings have been destroyed. And there's one particular place on the map which we're focusing on. So I'll take you over here and you'll hear this again and again and again. And it is actually a very famous name. Have a look. It's called Pacific Palisades. Let's just bring it up here. So this is on the west coast of the USA, and this is the Los Angeles area. And you see the beachfront, and we just take Google Maps inland here, and you see why this is such an exclusive area. Bradley Cooper lives here. Jennifer Aniston lives here. Paris Hilton, Mark Hamill, Miles Teller, Adam Sandler lives here. So what they've got here is they've got the sea and the light, but they've also got greenery in the middle of the city. And that has turned out to have sealed the fate of many of these properties, because once the fire arrived here, it just spread like crazy. Obviously, it's not just the wealthy Hollywood stars' homes. There's lots of other suburb area around. And if I give you a bit of context, so Pacific Palisades is here. That's where most of the fire is that they're fighting. You've got Beverly Hills here. You've got Fairfax just beside Beverly Hills, all famous places. Universal Studios there, the Hollywood sign there. We're looking down there. And I'll show you just some beachside scenes now, because it really is, this fire, very, very nasty indeed. So there we are. You can see them. And it's just one house after another that's gone. It's important to say that, of course, it isn't just Hollywood stars who are suffering losses, although they are being focused on, I suppose that's what happens, Nellifer, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's extraordinary, this.
It is. Sorry, just reeling from those images. They're shocking. They're almost biblical in the way that this has all happened. I mean, look, whatever has caused this, whether it's the climate crisis, whether it's the way that LA manages itself, this is devastating for all sorts of people. The rich and the famous, probably more resources, probably more able to either defend their homes or leave and evacuate. But this is causing such devastation for all classes of people. And you wouldn't think it to look at X, because I've looked at some of the tweets coming out of X of very high net worth, very rich people asking if they can pay people to defend their homes, and they'll pay whatever. This is bringing out really, really strange priorities for the rich.
It is, although that said, the fire is mainly located in the richest postcode. That's the bizarre thing. And that's, I guess, because they have got some bush there, because they like to have, you know, a nice view. A US reporter shared this report online from the Palisades yesterday.
We're here in the heart of the Pacific Palisades, in a neighborhood that is a total loss. You've got a home here. I'm going to flip over here. Another home lost. When we go over this way, homes down this street gone, this one completely leveled. The firefighters here, they're not trying to save these structures. They're trying to prevent these flames from jumping to other neighborhoods. You see all these embers. In some cases, they're being carried more than a mile in advance of these source flames, lighting other homes on fire.
The fires are burning so hot, they've been picked up by satellites, and they're estimated. There we are. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Photographs from space. They're burning the size of 5 football pitches every minute. This comes after California experienced one of their driest summers ever. It is, though, interestingly caused partly by the fact that before the dry summer, they had a very wet, unusually wet period, Tim, and people didn't kind of clock this, but a very wet period is problematic as well, because it makes things grow quicker. Then they dry out, then there's more to burn.
Yeah, well, it is. America, one of the things I think we forget about America, Justin Webb, the BBC presenter, wrote a book about how actually extreme weather has made America in large. They have every kind of weather in America, and this has really humbled people who thought they had everything. You know, a rich people in one of the richest cities on earth. But actually, when fire takes hold, you know, money doesn't protect you at all. Nanny, you used the term, you know, biblical.
Just
and it does seem like biblical.
Yeah, I mean, it's that the song Babylon's Burning, isn't it? We mentioned this is a popular area for celebrities, and I was just last night looking at social media, and a very famous showbiz columnist called Paris Hilton was clearly upset by the big names who've been affected
We're hearing about even more stars that have no place to live right now. And every single home lost, every single person affected by this, it is a tragedy. I'm talking about the famous folks. That's my job. Okay? If you don't like it, don't watch me. Sending out deepest condolences and positive energy. The home of Anthony Hopkins, gone. The home of Billy Crystal, gone. The home of Miles Teller, no longer standing there.
You react to that, Nilofer?
I'm sure they can find some refuge and safety in their second or third or fourth home, so my heart doesn't quite bleed in the same way. Although I can imagine the tragedy of losing a home, the devastation this is going to cause, the amount of money that's being spent by the county and by the state. But listen, this has been a terrible... This whole thing has been concocted by the worst possible outcomes. They've got huge, as you mentioned, the dry period. They've also got gusts of wind that are almost typhoon level. I mean, these are extreme weather conditions. And as much as I agree with Perez that it's an absolute tragedy to see these celebrities and A-list stars' houses go down, my concern is for the people who probably won't be able to rebuild their homes because they've only got one.
This is inside a home. We'll have a listen to this. This is someone who's stuck with his dog.
You're gonna be okay.
Goodness.
No.
So, have we got any more of that? I really want to see that. Can we play that again? Because we want to see that.
Oh my God.
Hi. Just be okay. You're gonna be okay. Hi. You're gonna be okay.
So we gather they're safe. You could see he had no options. I was trying to work out, is he going for his car or what? But it looks like the flames are all round. And they were spraying water on the insides of the windows while the outside of the house melted.
Well, two things. The death toll of 5, maybe it's going to rise, but given what we've seen, it's amazing it's so few people.
Yes.
You know, you think of more people trapped in the home. So I pray that that death toll won't rise. But I think one of the reasons why this affects us so much, and this is a comment on, you know, human nature, is if a terrible tragedy happens in some of the poorest parts of the world, there normally aren't cameras there. You know, everything is filmed in the world today.
And Tibet, by the way, has had an earthquake this week. So that's a perfect...
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah. And we don't identify with their lives. Whereas we may not live in houses, all of us, as nice as that, but we could imagine that as our world.
Yes.
And so there's a level of empathy that we feel, a level of personal fear and understanding that I'm afraid isn't true of
I don't know, because I'm detecting from Nilofer just almost you're flinching at the idea that because it's hit the richest neighbourhood, therefore the world is watching.
Yeah.
And if it hit the poorest neighbourhood, the world wouldn't be watching.
No, I mean, as a filmmaker and documentarian, I've been covering this for a very long time, 15 years. I've been looking at disasters, but both man-made and natural disasters. And yeah, you're quite right, Tim. A lot of the time, the stuff that happens is not well documented. But I think it's good that this is calling out to our humanity and to our sense of need to connect. But do I care that somebody's holiday home has been destroyed? Probably less than the fact that I care about somebody who's worked their entire life to earn a wage to buy a home that they can't rebuild.
Yeah, although counter to that, someone like Anthony Hopkins, much loved, spent his whole career making movies, has got this amazing house, and apparently it's ashes now.
But the cleaners' houses are also ashes.
Yes, that's true. But I suppose the Hopkins, we
can care about all people, can't we? Also,
we can, but
there is a problem of priorities in the world. But,
yes.
You know, a house isn't just a house; it's a home full of treasures, family memories.
Yes.
You know, the pain people go through, you know, in a time like this, is they lose their history as much.
Yeah,
as,
and we've had, I think, the actor James Woods bursting into tears on CNN about what has happened. We'll just show you one more piece of film here, which I think is two lads escaping. Let's have a look.
Oh. All right, dude. Yeah, let's get out of here. We tried, bro. I'm sorry. We tried our best. Yeah, and when this tree falls, it's over. I'm sorry, bro. Gotta get out of here.
So they were doing their best to protect their house, and that's the moment they basically surrendered to the fire. After the